I think what first drew me to using YouTube videos in my music was the idea that there were these people out there that I didn't know that were just shouting out into the void. They'll announce themselves, still kind of a little nervous, get in a little bit, but then by the middle of the chorus, it's almost like that's when they forget that the camera is there. And I think a lot of the time, that's when you get these like kind of amazing performances where like people just kind of open up.
Right now, I don't have a backup plan for if I don't make it in this music biz.
As a lot of the YouTube videos are, like they're powerful when you consider the context, like it's just a single person by themselves in a room delivering the line.
But even if I slip and fall, I'll just decide to move on to something bigger and better.
I think there's something about change of your situation and how it ties into the act of going onto YouTube. Because a lot of people that are satisfied, they wouldn't risk it.
Yeah, man, like Collie Zach, 5 years, I bought one of my older friends that died on the block, you know what I mean? I just spit it 5 years ago, just a couple lyrics and that. R.I.P. Cheesy, man. Free my niggas, free Kaz, with the whole team.
That niggas thinking that Nat Jencks.
I was 12 years old when I wrote the lyrics, and the reason I wrote it was because I lost someone that was close to me and that. So one of my older friends from the area that I grew up in as I was a child. He died in knife crime, man. It was from knife attack, yeah. And I was going through a hard time and that, so I thought I would express myself in a few words, innit? Yeah.
Man like Collie Zach, hot at waves, Rex, Kizzle, shocks, tricks. Let's go. My life's like a book and I'm near the last page.
All I'm trying to do from a young age is trying to get paid, but we're all growing up.
And everything's changed.
I've done a lot of dirt, but the pain still remains.
We're talking like you can make it rain on a sunny day. Car never thought that I'd see my dons cry when we all heard that Cheesy died. It's a memory that will never fade. I wish that everything was still the same, and we can all laugh, thinking it's just a game. Let's go.
Without you, without you, without you, without you.
I feel like I'm always in my head. I feel like every artist has got that, and it's what makes them different.
I feel like an underdog, definitely. I was an underdog. I am an underdog. I've always had this thing in my head, regardless of what's happened in my life, I'll end somewhere near the top.
I consider myself in the music industry as a nobody. My duty is to just put my best foot forward at all times. Continue pushing and pushing and pushing, you understand? Right? And I will always be pushing, right? Until I'm either dead or I'm successful.
The way I feel. Without you.
I do think there were sentiments in those videos that reminded me of myself. My mom was a music teacher. Therefore, music was like always part of the household, but it was like, she had made like this practical decision to give up on it so that she could get a better paying job so she could raise me in the way that I think she wanted to. I'm heavily conscious of the fact that she did give that up for me. I think growing up I was very shy, but over time I just sort of like kept putting songs out there, and this iterative thing where it's like my voice might not be great now, but I have this hope and this like underlying belief that it will be if I just keep at it enough. So much of the narrative in music is based around the aspiration for stardom. Everyone is looking up, no one's looking down. But I think what's really beautiful about these really underviewed videos is that the level of talent and emotional resonance that people are capturing at even the lowest number of views is just as valid and sometimes more compelling than what you would find on the pop radio. During the process of making the album, I reached out to all the people that I wanted to sample to seek their approval. Certainly some people were easier to reach than others.
One day I got on Twitter and I saw a DM, and it was from James. He introduced himself. He said, I saw your cover of Ariana Grande's You'll Never Know on YouTube, and, I thought it was great, and I would love if you would be able to, you know, work with me on this project. When James had actually reached out to me, my YouTube had been inactive for a year. I didn't know if people were still watching my videos because I definitely hadn't uploaded anything in a year. Hi guys, it's Shelly, and today I'm going to be doing a cover of You'll Never Know by Ariana Grande, so I hope you guys like it.
Generally what I'm looking for is like not only the best part of this song, but what is the kernel of whatever the YouTube video was. I think mine kind of like recontextualizes just that part. Is sort of different. I think it's much more, there's actually like a longing. It's funny, you know, I spent so much time poring over these videos and looking at these people in that moment in time, but in reality, as to who they are now, you almost know nothing. I know what makes me do what I do. I had no idea what drives a person to find themselves recording videos in the first place.
I thought it was a little bit strange at first, you know, because this just came out of nowhere.
I was just wildly curious about all of the things surrounding what I could actually see on the videos themselves.
Let it begin, bright like the sun, keep shining, yeah. Music is all around us. Yeah man, you don't know Naturaliss. You know, when we walk, our footstep is making music. You understand? Left, right, boom, boom when we walk. Music is like the air we breathe.
New start at 93 FM. We're located on the beautiful campus of the University of the West Indies, Mona. We're talking here with Naturaliss. Why did you choose music? You could have probably gone into farming.
Music was a part of our community, you understand? Right? My grandfather was there of his little guitar when I was a little youth, playing, you understand? He had a song that he always loved to play, a song named Dip Them Bedwood. He couldn't even play the guitar good, but he just loved music and he would always play the guitar. Dip them bedwood, dip them in a healing stream. Dip them bedwood, dip them but not too deep. You ride the jackass in your face paper. Dip them in a healing stream, you understand? So music was there, you know? So we didn't have to choose music. It just automatically become a part of it, you understand? I got to make it someday, hard working and less play. Success seems miles away, so I best be on my way. I work as a correctional officer for 12 years. During the day, I walk the cell block, you know, surrounded by some of the most hardened criminals, you understand? Rapists, murderer. As a correctional officer, once you go through that door, there's no guarantee that you will ever come back out alive. I don't tend to mix my musical life with my work life, you know, so I'm like a Spider-Man or a Superman with hidden identity, right? You know, it's kind of a double life still. Release an exclusive song and sing it from this book. I may even rehearse the song or anything. I'm just going to try and sing it raw. You know, what it taught me is that you choose the world you live in. You either succumb to the darkness around you or you find ways to transcend. Sometimes you watch try, but it's hard to make it. When me a look, still set down in a temptation. Keep on persist, asking the Father for 1,000 blessings. Try, but it's hard to make it. When me a look, still step down in a shit. Tribulation, keep on persist, asking the Father for 1,000 blessings. Once the Creator of earth and all things bright and beautiful calling for you, it's like you're holding the future of the world in the palm of your hands, you know. A key to something new, to a new door, to a new life. You know, and you don't want to drop that key. It's mysterious. Try, but it's hard to make it. When me a look, still stay down in a
That's in the father tribulation. Be 1,000 blessings.
In St. Mary, where I'm from now, the dance hall, when I was even in my house, the sound system would be so loud, so you would hear the zinc roof vibrating and the house shaking, and it sounded like thunder.
That's in the father tribulation. Be 1,000 blessings. Give me stability and guidance, protection and deliverance.
It's just energy. When you think about the dance hall, it's just high energy. You understand? Well, it is very significant to Jamaican culture, you know, because you know it explains the kind of people we are.
SMRG with my brother Superior 40, you don't know, look, don't know thing. Inside Hyde Park lamping, bars, living disappointment. I don't have a fan base because I've not ever put anything out on a proper level or anything. It's just always been me putting stuff out on the internet. It isn't good enough. It's because when I did have opportunities, I've just not had the guidance or the education or the right resources. All of that stuff is not aligned at the same time.
In basic form, how I spit it sound vivid. I'm HD without pictures, how I figured there's no need, at least inside my mind. And I see vividly mixed with regrets, mistakes I revisit. And the past I can't ever change, so I relive it. But keep visage tougher, stiff upper lip, be British. To find my purpose is kinda worthless as I observe it. If there's a higher person in the sky, I urge him, guide this earthling. Send me a light through the murk and grime I'm searching. Send me a sign to work with. Better yet, send a text or drop, call me brother, yes I got credit left. I get 3 minutes on 3 in it. If G seem distant, it's because I've been thinking. Understand? Well, that's where I feel.
G's one of the best MCs I know, he always has been. He's been one of my inspirations and kind of my mentor lyrically from when I was young. I've known him since I was a teenager and whatnot. I think it's crazy that he's one of the most gifted out there and he's just working for other people.
You saying that I'm better at you at rapping, like, no. Like, I feel like I rap too square, whereas yours is more free-flowing and can go anywhere.
That's just because that's who you think you are. That's the only reason. The unpopular son, binocular stunned a lot of you cunts. Astrologer amongst dance commoners sung a song of beauty. On duty pornographer, often I seen dons gone fruity. Everywhere I look a pussy in front of the lens. That's why I keep it G and only keep a couple of friends. And smite terrorists, white supremacists. Hide the evidence deep inside the night's crevices. Right prejudice. My good heart, my mind's nemesis. Switch method quick. Orthodox to South, poor bitch never miss. I hope indeed the smoking weed won't just lead to an old disease phobia with no peas. The cold beats cause the goosebumps. OGs leave heads spinning like they use drugs. Henny in a juice cup. Jezzy's getting moved up, fully wave. Cheers to the death of our future. I ain't got nothing good to say. What do you want to say?
I don't know, Don. What
Have you got some bars? Bestie.
I went to Leeds University and the School of Music. It was a weird experience. I'm like, yeah, I'm here to do sound engineering and study turntablism. I'm sitting in the canteen and there's all these classically trained musicians around like tuning their cellos. And I was just kind of sat there doing DJ hands. Thinking, okay, I'm the token guy. I'm the token guy around there. I'm not sure how I'm gonna fit on.
SMRG is in the building.
When I met up with Ophqi, he was like, you're good at doing you, and I do the yang side of it, and let's fuse the two. It's completely turned on its head. It's just all family now.
UK Urban Wave.
Listen,
2011.
Now there's so much more life restraints, the responsibilities that come with growing up, family, like work, professional work outside of music, that kind of, I don't want to say restricts, but forces you to change your approach. So back then it was literally like, wake up, meet at the studio at like 10 o'clock in the morning, coffee, what we doing today? We making music, we filming, what do you want to do? And whereas now it's kind of like, okay, January the 1st, 2016, we're gonna go and film for an hour and then come back. So yeah, it's just that kind of growth, really.
Flicker the flint and he's floating, folding with an empty soul. He smokes dope, zoning in like he's on his own with the only own. Those who I don't know his motives, but I've seen the destruction, the hope and the conquering nature of hopeless. Cold grip, low piff, no diff. I rinse in events on a daily to hold on to sense. Trying to stay blessed with the rain guard from the hard tasks and dreams that never came to pass. The brightest in his class, and yet he tried to walk the straight and narrow path. But he turned teen, smoke glass, get lean in the Parker. Fiend for the lager, the fights and the drama. Need an arsenal and an armor to inflict the force and cause trauma. I realised actually that I struggled with the balance as the kids got older. I didn't know how to be at the shows as well as be at home, and that's when I went on a bit of a, if you want to call it a hiatus.
I was drinking a lot back then, drugs. It was a bad time. I had tunnel vision with regards to how to get money or how to live comfortably or how I could be successful as a young black man in this country or whatever. So yeah, I made silly decisions. I was caught up in criminality, just criminality. That was all I wanted to do, was be a criminal and stuff. But I wasn't good at it. Yeah, so as a result of that, I ended up serving a custodial sentence with intent to supply Class A drugs. My dream is my dream to not be at anybody. I only recently see it, but other people have always told me, oh, you've got it, there's something about you, this, that, and the fourth. I never even used to know what they were talking about. Like, I just can't be that cannon fodder, just because I'm not.
I remember the first time I heard the video, I was like, wow, like I had no idea who this guy was, but he said this line, broken past, no prospect for the future.
Broken past, no prospects for the future, so cold in my heart as I'm bopping to the boozer.
So when I loop that line together, I think it really gets at this idea of what I was feeling at that time, where you can kind of find yourself in these downward spirals in life, where your past and your future kind of collapse on each other and you feel stuck.
The product of a world that's cold and ruthless. Everybody thinks that they know what the truth is. Listen, Ophqi's got bars for days. They'll go on for hours and hours. SMRG,
we're in the building.
You do see, there's a few moments in every person's life where I think you do see the abyss. You see just how bad it can get. My mom died when I was in college, and she just died in a car accident. Yeah, I just collapsed to the ground. You know, there's just only one other pillar in your whole life that you've always counted on, and then instantaneously just disappears within, a second. I think there is certainly loneliness in pretty much all of the videos. There's a difference between loneliness and hopelessness and loneliness and sadness.
On our way to Islington, St. Mary, my hometown, a poor community, we didn't really have much, but what we have was love and community spirit. The first song that I wrote was a song titled Pala Pala, which is a raw song, and it's about ladies. Pala Pala, me have a new style, rainy. Pala Pala, me have a new style, rainy. Pala Pala, the girl sitting big and the girl sitting pala. The girl sitting wide and the girl sitting walla. You understand? So each time I would sing that song, people would find it funny. So I couldn't walk in peace. Chasing a musical dream as a reggae and dancehall independent artist and an independent record label. It's like a needle in a haystack. It's like a diamond in the dirt. This is CR3 Records studio. You have the voicing area. You know, it's not a booth as you may be used to, but this is where we record for now, and the funding is not readily available, but you have to just, you know, work with what we have, you know. So this is where all the magic happen. Yeah, man. You know, above the house that I grew up, right, there's an ancient black mango tree that hung over the family burial plot. I would come up here and sometimes sit on this wall right here and, you know, just think what the future will be like, and, you know, if I'm ever going to be successful in life, and, you know, like stuff like that. And it's always, we don't cut it down because it's providing shade for the tombs and stuff like that. So probably if you cut it down, the spirits may be hungry at you understand? So you can't cut it down. So when it's like when you're there, you can feel this energy. You know, it's like basically like you can feel the spirits around you, you know, like they're talking to you, not in words, but in the way of the wind. And it's almost like instead of they are sitting up in the branches, staring down at you, you know, they're guiding you, you know, calling you.
When I first started this project, I had no idea who the people that I sampled were beyond what I could see in their videos. Making music for me can be a really, really lonely process, but the thing that I've learned throughout this whole searching and trying to figure out who these people are is at the end of the day, like, I'm not alone.
We used to have this traditional cultural dance that is unique to St. Mary by the name of Dinky Mini. That would be like a tribute dance. Back in the days, we didn't have any band, any instruments, any band to play any music, so we would create our own instrument. And you have now the guy beating one end of the benta like a drum, and another guy rubbing the gourd on the top of it. You just want to dance, you know, even if you can't dance, you just want to move your shoulders. You know, you want to rock, you want to move your hips, you know, it's just a nice feeling.
I think my mom definitely taught me that one of music's best qualities is the ability to provide connections with other people, fundamental ability to kind of move people or move yourself. And just, a joy, really.
All we want is just the opportunity to showcase our music internationally to the entire world. My duty is to just put my best foot forward at all times. Continue pushing and pushing and pushing, you understand? Right? And I will always be pushing, right? Until I'm either dead or I'm successful. You know, if you don't go through anything in life, if you have everything smooth and everything easy, you won't learn the true value of what you have. You understand what I'm saying? But what they always say, you know, what you reap is what you sow, you know. And they say the hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory, you know. So right now I'm fighting my battle musically and personally. So without test, there is no testament.
Round and round and round, from me to you, from you to me, in circles.
young thing,